This is the Thing. If you enjoyed the movie or movies, there was actually three movies: a '50s movie, uh, an '80s movie with Kurt Russell, and then I believe it was late '90s movie that was the pre-sequel to Thing. You can play all three versions of this game. Um, the original Thing. It's a real simple game if you've got light game players. Then the regular board game that I've enhanced for advanced players. And then you can play the Norwegian Outpost, which is the pre-sequel movie Thing. I have all the characters and models. So this is how it works. Everything pretty much except for I keep some miniatures in here. Everything fits in this game board. Now I'm going to show you how it works. Basically, all these roofs are simply for storage or when people first show up, so you can give them an impression of the base. Under here are where the cards for the storage room fit. Under here is where the cards for the this is the underground rooms. And as you can see, you can just, depending upon the game, for example, in the first game, you would uncover this section. In the second game, you'd leave this section covered because they don't include this in the second game. In the first game, all the miniatures for the first game are down in this well under the Snowcat. This is a spot for placing other game cards. Depending upon the game you're playing, you can swap out the cards for the different games. I have several dogs that I printed. Some of them, most of them have the dog symbol, but some of them have the alien symbol. And so instead of drawing from a dog bag in the second game, you can actually just pick up the dog and turn it over. There's the kennel with Clark model. Garage, which is for the first game. All the game components hide under here. This is the suspicion track enlarged with magnetic markers, so it's easy to read. If you're familiar with the game, you increase suspicion as you play. All the tokens I printed, food tokens, gas tokens, oil tokens, damage tokens. Here, let me show you. That's what the damage tokens look like. And all the components for the game. And I have printed the first player token. And this came with the first game computer. The dice are in this bag. And the blood bag tokens are in this bag. You can change the game label. Goes here if you wish for the different games. My rule set, the original rule set, and the game rule set, extra cards. here are the player cards, and all the tokens and for each player are color coded with this different envelope. So you just have to hand them an envelope to lock up the players. They have the ring, all the components necessary to play the game are here. And it, like I say, it all fits in. And I'm going to show you a little closer look at each room. There's Palmer in the storage room. There's the map room. Again, depending upon the game you're playing, they have different aspects. In the bigger version of the game, the re-release, you have room, and so these cards fit in a slot so that if you need to know what to do in that room, you just pick up the card. So there's card slots for all the regular rooms and the rooms that I've added from the other games. So the basic map includes everything, and you can add components from the other game into each game. I've expanded. So that's the radio room with windows. That's the geology lab with knolls. The bathroom. The sleeping quarters. There's the common office or the weather station with Bennings. There's the manager's office with Gary. And if you're playing the Norwegian outpost, what you do is you remove these components and insert another room. Fits in here. And this is the thing locked up in ice room. And then I have all the miniatures for that room. There's MacReady in the weapons locker. There's the recreation room where they played ping pong in the first scene and pool in the next scene. There's Knowles in the kitchen. In the second game, the kitchen has a pantry next to it, and I put a dining room next to it, but I put all the food items on this shelf, and then just move them to the floor if the food item is going to be consumed in the kitchen. There's the infirmary with I forget the guy's name, Dr. something or other. There's Dr. Fuqua and Dr. Blair in the specimen room. And notice all the items I've 3D printed basically so that it gives it a realism. There's the kennel and the garage and the outside storage shed. Again, I've added some rules where you can go mad if you move on the suspicion track. One of the characters can go crazy and start sabotaging everything like it did in the second movie. Also have the helicopter and the snowcat for ways to escape the base. So this is the thing. If you're a thing collector, this is something you'll want to have to impress your friends. I'm paying myself less than 25 cents an hour in the cost. For $500, you can have the whole thing, all the miniatures painted. Also, let me show you the Thing miniatures. I've printed a bunch of them. So I have level 1 things, level 2 things, level 3 things, level 4 things, level 5 things, and monster level 6 thing. These are all the miniatures for the Norwegian expansion. And here's where I put normally the miniatures for the first movie in here, or the movie, the 80s Kurt Russell movie. So, and then if these are the boards of the old game and all the components for the other games. So if you want to use the boards that came with the game, you can. So pretty much this is the entire set that you can enjoy and have in your collection.